Buongiorno a tutti, sono Franco Mili, saluto tutti i stakeholder e soprattutto i partner di questo progetto che è partito come un Interreg canonico. Poi noi, grazie alla vostra disponibilità, mi ricordo Assisi se non erro, dottoressa Bossi, avete dato la disponibilità per inserire anche, oltre che allo scambio di prassi, che è una caratteristica generale dei progetti Interreg, un elemento molto importante che è quello dell'innovazione, nel senso che siamo riusciti a caratterizzare, oltre a fare il lavoro canonico, abbiamo fatto anche un lavoro che poi sarà illustrato negli interventi successivi in relazione alle possibilità delle imprese di sviluppare progetti di innovazione con l'ausilio soprattutto dell'università, che rappresenta un punto importante. Devo dire per gli altri partner che in Umbria la situazione è stata paradossalmente caratterizzata dal fatto che molte imprese di questo settore nemmeno sapevano che potevano rivolgersi all'università per sviluppare progetti di innovazione. Su questo ci torneremo durante i lavori, l'innovazione intesa come innovazione dalla parte delle materie prime, poi del processo di produzione e poi dalla parte commercializzazione e marketing. Io vi ringrazio a tutti e prima di passare la parola all'assessore Michele Fioroni, assessore allo sviluppo economico, e siccome per economia di tempo non vi dico anche le altre deleghe, tra cui il digitale e quant'altro, internazionalizzazione, strumenti finanziari, sostanzialmente ci tenevo, prima di dare la parola all'assessore, che ringrazio sia come dirigente ma anche personalmente, perché ha dato sempre una dignità, ha garantito sempre una partecipazione ai lavori di questo progetto e mi sia consentito, così chiudo e passo la parola all'assessore, di salutare tutti i partner, no? E non faccio tutti i nomi, uno soltanto, Linda, che come si chiama? Elisa, che è stata così carina in Finlandia e che sappiamo tutti che non ci sarà sostanzialmente nelle prossime eventuali sviluppi. E poi c'è una cosa che voglio far sentire, che credo che sostanzialmente sia diciamo un messaggio, la lingua ufficiale è l'inglese, ma mi consentirete questo fatto che riguarda una persona che ha dato un grande contributo ai lavori di questo progetto.
Especial a Regina para que supere as dificuldades
Mincarelli Doria.
Scusate.
Correntes do acidente o mais rápido possível. Nós te amamos, você é uma pessoa linda.
Ho provato più volte a cercare di avere questa cadenza in portoghese, però anche le mail che ho ricevuto, Regina è una persona veramente eccezionale. In Portogallo abbiamo fatto, secondo me, un ottimo lavoro, ha avuto questo incidente e quindi in inglese lo tradurranno gli interpreti, spero che si riprenda presto. Tutti noi l'aspettiamo con grande affetto. Ora la parola va all'assessore Michele Fioroni, che, ripeto, ringrazio sia come dirigente ma anche personalmente per, diciamo così, la sua presenza anche in questi progetti che sostanzialmente hanno una dimensione rapportato alle problematiche che affronta diciamo assoluta, diciamo così, di una dimensione limitata, e quindi lo ringrazio davvero. Prego, assessore.
Good morning, all, and welcome to the final events of phase one. I'm very proud to be here today because it's a very important moment of this project. And as probably you know, Regione Umbria has a traditional connection with the ceramics. In Umbria, ceramics pottery is a traditional economic area. There's a huge cultural value, but now we are in front of a big challenge: how to develop the future of the ceramic sector. And we strongly believe that this challenge needs to be affronted with a particular attention to the innovation, to the design, to different aspects compared to the past. We believe that Regione Umbria, as I told you, we have been many action to support ceramic supply chain, and Clearness stands out between these initiatives. Now a crucial moment is open, as I told you. We are talking about future. We are talking about a big challenge, and now it's time to experiment. During the exchange of best practice, each participant has been enriched. We try to find together new solution, new perspective for the ceramic sector. Now is the time to materialize. As Regione Umbria, we strongly believe that the future and the support to ceramic sector we need to support through the triple helix, through the relation to help to build relations between the ceramic sector, the university, the research system, and the company. Because it's true that the sector has a long history, is a traditional sector, but there are lots of perspective comparing to build inside of the ceramics new technology or to develop a new material. And I think that this is the challenge, and only to with the triple helix to help to the small company to be able to work on research to help them to develop new products that mean not only new different artistic design, but new technology both in material and both in a technology that can be applied in the material. I just saw a few days ago a ceramics wall with inside a few sensors, and it was a interior design system that can be linked with an app and with the domotic system of the home. So we strongly believe that any single company requiring and requesting innovation of processes, that means that they need more competence, for example, in the marketing sector. They need to develop new way to commercialize their product, to keep in touch with the customer. And so the innovation is not only, as we told, in material, in technology, but also in the processes. And it's important also to say, to help the sector with to develop new skills, not only the master arts, but also the commercial side that need new tools to develop new markets. So the managing of the Interreg during COVID pandemic represents itself a best practice. What we done during this time is good lesson, not only for ceramic sector, but also for us. We have been able to develop an important project to make the relationship between different countries, different people still alive, even if we were locked inside our home, inside our office. This project didn't stop. That's a big result. I want to underline this aspect. And we strongly believe in CLAY project effectiveness, and that it will be essential for a future implementation of the action plan and the development of ceramic supply chain. So we are not in a moment of conclusion. We are at a starting point, because is the beginning of a new era, is a beginning of a new repositioning moment for this sector. And I think that the best practice that we developed during this project will help all our company, all our university, but also us, the institution, to give the good address to the sector, to build an important bridge to the future, to build a new competitiveness, and to be stronger as we have been in the past, and to cross the century with the main role of ceramic sector, and our strong point of identity that has not only been made by traditional laser technique, but and the craftsmen, but will be in the future will be made by technology and new skills and new tools that will be as important as the art has been in the past for make this sector strong again. Thank you, and good morning all again. And I wish to all, I address to all my best wishes for a good work. And unfortunately, you didn't have the chance to visit Perugia, and I can assure that, and Umbria, I can assure that really strong to be visiting. So that's a goodbye, and I will wait you in Umbria. And it will be my pleasure to bring you all around our wonderful regione, but to visit also our wonderful company, and to start new stories and to share all of beautiful we have in Regione Umbria. Bye.
Thank you so much, Deputy President Michele Fioroni, for your contribution in our final event, Phase 1. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final Phase 1 event of CLEI. I am Emanuela Bossi, and I am the CLEI project manager. And now let me go to the heart of the event with the first part of the agenda dedicated to ceramics in Europe. With the open session, we wanted to offer an international point of view on the ceramic sector. After each presentation, there will be a question time to our speakers. And I remember that you can write in the chat or raise the hand and ask to speak. So I pass the floor to the first speaker, Elisa Guidi. Welcome, Elisa. Can you switch on the microphone? Just a minute. Okay, Elisa Guidi is a president of the World Craft Council. She will talk about the European Ceramic in World Craft Council, Europe's activities. Elisa, you are?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, good morning and very, very welcome. I pass you the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me this morning for this very important project and for this event. As you said, I'm the actual president of World Craft Council Europe. World Craft Council Europe is a network of association. Sorry, I have some problem with the presentation. I don't know why. Anyway, just a moment, please. Anyway, World Craft Council Europe is a network of association and of public body working in the craft field in Europe. We represent more than 30 members, and our members come from over 20 countries in Europe. So we have a bigger network. Do you see? I don't know why it doesn't move. Some technical problems, sorry. Okay, anyway, I will speak without the Apple. I don't know why they are not moving on. I try once again. Okay, so who is World Craft Council? World Craft Council is a non-profit membership organization.
Sorry, Elisa, you can put on the I don't know. Sorry, just
do you see the screen? Do you see the screen now?
okay.
Yes.
We see
It's
the
okay?
slide.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. at the end, we succeeded. So first of all, who we are? We are a non-profit membership organization that aims to promote an international interest in craft. Of course, we work in different sectors. We don't work only in ceramic sector. We speak about craft in all declination, in all sector, from textile to ceramics to glass, and from heritage craft to contemporary craft. Because, as you probably know, in different countries has different kinds of craft, different kind of companies. So anyway, we speak about craft as a whole sector, as an important sector for our economy, our culture, and our society. So our mission is to elevate awareness and appreciation of craft as a part, as I told, of our society from different point of view. Our vision is that we need to build a society in which craft has an important role at a different level of society, and our aim is to strengthen the status and to promote craft as a vital part of our life. Okay. So our main objective, political, we need to promote and to play a critical voice in at the political, national, and international levels. We are building a new relationship with the European Commission. We want to support a network through our members, affiliates, and strategic partnership. Our aim is also to be visible and representative about craft and resilient in this moment in which craft is more and more important in the new vision and the new European society that we are called to build in this moment after the pandemic. As I told you before, we have now 30 members spread across 20 European countries. Our members can be, as I told you, companies or public bodies like minister or foundation. And we have different types of membership: national, regional, professional, and affiliate members. What we do, some of our activities, we have the Craft Cities program, which is an international program because we are the European Worldcraft Council, but Worldcraft Council is an international, a worldwide association. So this project is an international project. We have craft cities all over the world. And now we are beginning to build a new network of craft cities in Europe. At the moment, we have two, one in Holland, the other in Netherlands, and the other one in England. And two more are applying at the moment, one in Ireland, the other one in Spain. And of course, I would like to have some Italian cities apply to this program, because it will be important to be part of a network like that at an international level, as I said. We also are a partner of European Artistic Craft Day, the Journée Européenne des Métiers d'Art. And we also work in European projects like Craft in Europe, Craft Code, and other. Our activity, we participate in an exhibition like Révélation, which is the Biennale of Applied Art that is held in Paris in Grand Palais. We support the European Prize for Applied Art. We are partner of Homo Faber Guide and of Homo Faber events. Anyway, we try to present craft all over Europe and to support with our presence and with our members events throughout Europe concerning craft. We have also a manifesto that should be interested, I can send you, and which is a document that we prepared in the occasion of the 40th anniversary of World Craft Council Europe, which was founded in Florence in 1979. And this is a kind of action plan in which we explain what we think we can or we would do about craft in Europe, and about the promotion and protection and the valorization, innovation, education, all you want about craft. So it is like a program, document that will be signed by our members and also by craftsmen or other entities that would like to support craft and his life. Some challenges for the craft sector that I mean can be also the challenges for ceramics. Also, the Deputy Minister said something about that at the beginning of the event. So we identified some challenges. The first one is to define and analyze the sectors, because it's important to have a dimension, to know the dimension of craft sector, and in this case of ceramic sector, and communicate the value for craft. We need to communicate better craft, its values, and what craft represents in Europe, and not only in Europe. Create a strong relationship with market. We need to help craftsmen and companies to be present in different kind of market, national, international, professional, consumer, and so on. Bring the innovation system into the craft sector, as the Deputy Minister say, and as the project CLAY aim to do, because it is really important to maintain, to valorize the tradition craft sector and ceramic sector, but it's also important to innovate this sector, respecting its characteristic and its features. Create a new dialogue and a fruitful dialogue with the new generation of artisans and entrepreneurs. We need to create the future for craft and the future for ceramics. So education, training, and approaching new generation is really a main topic for craft and ceramics in the future. And of course, interact deeply with the territory. We need to create integrated program, intersectoral program and project to promote craft and the territory. This is also a view of the European Commission. World Craft Council, for instance, is also a member of the network of the new European Bauhaus program, which was launched by the President Ursula von der Leyen. This is an important program because it's a think tank to create the new idea of the society, the European society after the pandemic. And of course, craft has a really central role, a really central place in this new idea of the European society, of European cities too. Is important because craft and ceramics, of course, in this field, because ceramics is also one of the more important sector, is present all over the world, all over Europe, with different characteristics, but anyway is really important. And they will be at the very center of the new project of European society, because of is linked to the territory, is linked to tradition, is ethic work, it's many other values that craft can represent in the new European Bauhaus program and in other programs. Just a little overview of some action that our members are doing in the sector, or in the ceramic sector. Of course, just as some samples, because 30 members have a lot of activities concerning ceramics, and not only. So just a small overview, and should you need further information, I can send it and you can visit our website. Just to have an idea, for instance, and perhaps it will be interesting for also the participants to this event, I'll show some information about the British Ceramics Biennale, which was launched in 2009 in Stoke-on-Trent, in the heart of the UK industry, and now is a very important festival, a very important event devoted to ceramics, both from a traditional and a contemporary point of view, with a lot of activities like visiting museum or workshop for young people, for babies, or something like that. And should you need more further information, you have here the website for the British Biennale. Of course, ceramics is also present in many other events. For instance, I spoke to you before about Révélation in Paris. Of course, there are many companies or many associations that expose in Révélation with a ceramics product, with a ceramic piece of art, we can say. And we as Artex, not World Council, but as Artex, presented in 2015, for instance, some pieces from Andrea Salvatori, the winner of the Faenza Prize some years ago. Another activity that we can have in ceramics is ceramic sector is, as I told you before, craft cities. The fourth craft city in Europe will be La Bisbal d'Empordà, which is a city in Catalonia, and which has a long ceramic making tradition. And they applied to become a craft city, and they will be approved soon, I hope, because of the pandemic. All assessment about craft cities will be done on virtual way, so it's a little bit different. Anyway, a craft city means that you have not only a production in ceramics or in other sectors, but you have only museum, you have also schools. Anyway, it means that craft, in this case ceramics, is a very important, perhaps dominant characters of the city. Okay, so it means that La Bisbal d'Empordà has a long tradition, but has also a big part of his society, of his economy based on ceramics. And at the end, some information about research and innovation. We have some studies that are made in Europe about different sectors. For instance, in ceramics, we have two studies made in Spain. The first one funded by Fundesarte about innovation in ceramics and the object in contemporary ceramics, because of course, we need to create innovation in the craft sector, as I said before, and those analyses aim to understand which kind of contemporary ceramics they have in Spain. It's just a sample, of course. Another analysis that was made in Italy, the ceramic production in Italy, which was a research promoted by the Italian Association of Ceramics Cities in the framework of Mater Ceramica project, and which was aimed to understand the economical impact and economical structure of the sector in Italy. And we have many other studies, many other research all over Europe, and should be interested, you can ask us. So thank you for your attention, and of course I am at your disposal for any further information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for your contribution and for your presentation. Your association, the World Craft Council, allow us to appreciate the ceramic craft and as an integral cultural heritage and social and economic part. In every clear region, the ceramic craft identified the specific production area, and the ceramics distinguishes the region in the worldwide. So, there is any question? No? So, no. We move on, and to the next speaker is Willem Siemens. Hello, Willem, you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yes, welcome, Willem. Willem Siemens is the former head and director of the Porzellanikon, sorry for my bad Deutsch, State Museum of Porcelain in Germany. Willem will talk us about the ceramic moves and how the European cooperation project can foster future development in art, design, and technology. So, thank you so much for joining Crane, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Dear Michele for Fiorini, dear host, distinguished guests, dear friends of ceramics. I really feel honored to be invited today at this conference as a speaker. As a person who loves ceramics and a person who, as former director and head of the Porzellanikon, has had the privilege to work in former European cooperation projects with some of the regions as partners, which are joining together in this important project. Ceramic touches. It touches your body. It touches your mind. It touches your heart. It is always there. It is beauty and function as well. It is one of the main assets of our European tradition in art, and at the same time, it preserves a full load of chances in design, in advanced functions. It is a treasure of our European identity and a treasure for developing new technical goods. Its sustainable reaches far above other materials. Indeed, ceramic moves. Ceramic moves. It's my mission, the mission we share, and the mission which was the base for your project. After working nearly 40 years in this field, I'm still fascinated from the artistic objects, the modern design of goods, the way ceramics makes life easier and provides unique possibilities to push the borders in technical application. Isn't it fantastic? Every time I thought of this, it strengthened my belief in ceramics. Ceramics is central in any kind of European tradition. Ceramic moves. Ceramics and ceramists had to pass a deep valley of decline throughout the last decades. Lots of companies with a long tradition closed within Europe. It was a structural crisis which affected micro, small, and medium companies. And in consequence, the education of craftspersons, ceramics designers, and technicians dropped. But if we are convinced ceramics is central for our European tradition, there is hope. And if there is hope, there will be a new vision. Of course, besides the advanced, ceramics is not even highly fashionable in Europe, but I'm convinced there is a return, especially regarding the Green Deal discussion, which is the opinion making all over. What can we learn from other continents? Let us take a view to China. Ceramics is on place 4 of the consumers ranking list. In Germany, it is place 15. People are even more interested to buy a lawnmower. China is investing billions in preserving ceramics as a treasure of heritage. For example, in the new Zhejiang Provincial Center for the Preservation and of the Intangible Heritage in Hangzhou. Ceramics plays an important role in this institution. In Jingzhen, a former porcelain factory area has been changed to a center where innovation and heritage meet. a museum space, as well as ceramic studio, hosting artists and designers from all over the world. China is at one hand aware of its ceramics heritage and preserves it, and at the other hand, they are eager to learn from foreign traditions and achieve modernity, where also universities and industry and crafts match for the very new. Chinese invest in totally new factories and run art studios where they develop the new on the fundamentals of the historical craft techniques. Indeed, China's investment politics goes over anything which a single European region can afford to invest. But we can compete. We can compete because European funding programs open the door to realize what we never would be able to do on ourselves. And there is a very important aspect we should never forget. Europe is so rich in its traditions, and thanks to the different cultural background, each one profits from the other. Its traditions in art and design, its way of doing and behavior, its style of life, its way of managing purposes, challenges, tasks. This is best practice of European development, knowledge, transfer, and in a unique way, a fundamental step towards European identity. You already have experienced this within your project, and I can tell you from my very first European project, the Porcellanicon took part. The results were convincing and led to new ways in art, support of the talents, develop fascinating ideas, improve the standards and guidelines. These projects let people come together, developing a common mission. And not forget, when vision, mission, and practice meld together, those who do it very often become real friends. What makes this kind of project so promising? As in the last scale Creative Europe project, Ceramics in its Dimensions, I was head of, which was realized from 2014 to 2018, and the Interact V project 30, also launched by the Porcellanicon. The regions taking part joined to a fascinating working alliance of artists, designers, museums, research institutes, and departments for creative disciplines at the universities as important breeding unities. It is evident that only through cooperation like yours, we can find answers to the questions and challenges of the future. ECERS is one also of the units, European Ceramic Society, where we can find each other, where we can work together. But the questions, what makes the difference of our European ceramics identity? How can we find to cover the new needs of a society which is by far more mobile than ever before? What can be the right product for people with totally different habits in housing, eating, drinking, and even decorating their homes according to the past? Which are these habits? Who is the consumer in Europe on the global market? What seems to be attractive for the market in Europe and China? How do we manage to gain attention on and achieve interest? What kind of design can be realized through new technical production methods? What can be the special value of ceramics in times of global warming, for instance, in architecture? How can ceramics solve problems through medical application? What makes us so special? People will be eager to buy our products on a worldwide market scene. It is a marvelous, but also extremely challenging spectrum we have to face. Your project is also path-breaking in this context. One of the fundamental assets of your project is that through your common idea of the today's needs in the ceramics sector, due to the European funding, you work together to set a very important example of what ceramics is, what it can offer to the people, how it can be promoted. You push the boundaries and open the minds. You bring together interregional exchange, keep track of the tradition, as well as the need to modernize in a global context. You build the bridges between crafts, universities, industry. You demonstrate how it can be linked together, fruitful for artists, fruitful for designers, and fruitful for industry. You work interdisciplinary. You have an eye on today's techniques up to 3D, as well as traditional hands-on ones. You preserve, you innovate, you promote through presentations in real context, and you use today's virtually instruments. European cooperation projects like this you are doing now foster future developments in art, design, and technology, and help us to compete on the global market. I know that today's challenges seem to be overbearing, especially in the ceramic sector. But I'm convinced we can compete if we stay authentic, if we find new expressions of the people's needs in a dramatically fast-changing world. If we answer the urgent needs, the challenge of saving the resources, the sustainability, and the force preserving the environment, which material can promise to deliver as many answers to these questions as ceramic does? Ceramic moves. European cooperation projects foster future developments in art, design, and technology. Your project is outstanding with reference to this mission. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much again for your presentation, Willem. And your presentation allows us to understand how a European project can become the focus center of a discussion about ceramic and to the promotion, as happened with the clay project. Thanks to clay, we are back to talking about the ceramic. Thank you so much. And now, if there are no questions, move on to the last speaker of the open session, Tony Cumeia. Tony, welcome. Tony Cumeia, can you switch your microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Tony will speak in Spanish, his language, and I will try to speak Spanish with him. So we have the English translation. Tony es un ceramista especializado en cerámica aplicada a la arquitectura. Las propuestas de Cumeia Cerámicas son realmente muy interesantes y ahora Tony nos hará una demostración. La Cumeia Cerámica siempre ha colaborado con el arquitecto Gaudí para la construcción de la Sagrada Familia y el Parque Güell. Entonces, Tony, la palabra para ti.
Buenos días. Es un honor para mí que me hayan invitado a hablar de nuestra trayectoria en el proyecto CLAY, que creo que es importante para la relación que puede haber de la cerámica en Europa y en la evolución de la artesanía de la cerámica en función de las innovaciones tecnológicas existentes. Siempre hemos creído en que la cerámica es un oficio, es una materia con absoluto futuro y que debe evolucionar. Perdonen, mi inglés es malo y lo haré en español. Y para ello he preparado un PowerPoint, una presentación más de imagen que de texto para que sea más fácil de comprensión para todos. Voy a compartir la pantalla. Nosotros somos una empresa familiar. Yo soy la cuarta generación y mi hijo, que por cierto ayer fue padre por primera vez y por esto no me ha acompañado, él habla inglés y habría podido hacer la presentación él. Mi hijo, digo, es la quinta generación. Un momento, por favor. Nuestro origen es la cerámica popular para hacer fuego en una población tradicional en Breda, en Cataluña. Y este es un vídeo que se recuperó desde el año 37, pero que es del mismo pueblo donde mi abuelo nació y empezó esta tradición. Mi padre continuó con el taller familiar, pero su intención fue hacer cerámica personal, cerámica creativa, cerámica de pieza única, y transformó la producción de cerámica de baja temperatura a grés, a cerámica de gran fuego. Debemos pensar que en España no llega el grés, la temperatura de gran fuego, la cerámica vitrificada, hasta finales del siglo XIX, cuando en China, por ejemplo, en el siglo XI, ya existía, ¿no? Mi padre conoció la cerámica de las dinastías Sung y Ming y le chocó mucho que era una cerámica sin decoración, sino que lo importante era la forma y el esmalte. Y esto lo mantuvo en toda su producción siempre. Es como un minimalismo de la cerámica que no dejó nunca. Expuso en Francia con Bernard Leach y con Shoji Yamada, y esto lo digo porque en tiempos difíciles en España, después de la guerra civil, exponer conjuntamente con primeras figuras de la cerámica mundial fue muy importante para él. En el año 64 hizo un mural para la Feria Mundial de Nueva York que lo tituló Homenaje a Gaudí, y lo tituló así porque como reivindicación de Gaudí, porque en aquellos años no estaba nada bien visto Gaudí, y el titularlo así fue perfectamente una reivindicación. Su obra está en museos y ha expuesto en muchos países del mundo. Está, por ejemplo, la colección permanente del MACBA en Barcelona, y estuvo invitado en la Documenta de Kassel del 2012 con piezas del mismo año que empezó la Documenta. Para nosotros fue muy importante que después de su fallecimiento estuviera como invitado especial en la Documenta, la Documenta número 13, que es una feria de arte de las más importantes del mundo. Y estaba junto a Man Ray, etc. Para nosotros el amor de la cerámica ha sido siempre una constante, y al fallecer mi padre yo cogí este taller familiar, pero cambiando también de aspecto. Yo no quise hacer nunca cerámica artística, cerámica de creación, sino que incorporé este taller familiar a la cerámica para arquitectura. Es un taller que continúa artesano, pero utilizando toda la tecnología que se pueda en cada momento para cada proyecto. Siempre es importante de hablar de I+D, pero para mí es esencial y básico tener una T de tradición delante, tanto si es de una tradición geográfica como personal. Esto te hace distinto y crea una singularidad que creo que es lo importante para que una artesanía pueda vivir en un mundo global. Me gusta utilizar el término local para este concepto, ¿no? Lo global dentro de lo local. Defendemos unos principios esenciales, creo yo, por lo menos para nosotros, que es el trabajar siempre con cerámica de alta temperatura, con grés, porque la artesanía, si no respeta, si no cumple con la normativa internacionales de uso, es difícil sobrevivir. Un segundo punto puede ser que la cerámica tiene que parecer siempre cerámica. No podemos perder el concepto cerámico y hacer cerámica imitando otros materiales. Esto está mucho en uso, pero yo creo que es para hacer subproductos más económicos de materiales que ya son nobles, como la piedra, el acero cortén, etc. Yo lo encuentro que la cerámica tiene su propio lenguaje que no podemos abandonar. Otro punto importante es pasar de la cerámica plana a la tercera dimensión, porque el 90% de la cerámica que se produce en el mundo es en 2D, es plana. Y perder una tercera dimensión es un lujo que no nos podemos permitir, porque cuando obviamos esta tercera dimensión, perdemos todo el juego con la luz, las sombras, etc., ¿no? Y por último, en nuestro caso, preferimos no tener catálogo, o sea, trabajar en procedimientos, en proyectos únicos, y preferimos tener procedimientos a no catálogos, procedimientos de producción. Este proyecto es del año 62, de los primeros que hacía mi padre en el taller para arquitectura, porque este taller le servía a él como base para fabricar sus plafones, su obra, y al mismo tiempo para tener una independencia económica, que es el taller que yo seguí. Un punto importante en nuestra trayectoria, voy a ser un poco escueto, es el contacto con Enric Miralles, que lo que hizo fue, su obra es conocida internacionalmente y por lo tanto colaborar con él fue muy importante para nosotros para darnos a conocer internacionalmente. Entonces el mercado de Santa Catarina, que hicimos 67 colores distintos para esta cubierta que es como un emblema de la ciudad de Barcelona. Y aquí empezamos ya en los años 2000, a partir de 2010, este trabajo con la utilización de técnicas digitales y robotizadas, que voy a centrarme un poco en esta parte para poder mostrar la evolución de nuestra cerámica con la técnica, ¿no? Este es el primer proyecto que hicimos con la Universidad de Harvard, que fue la primera vez que el modelo fue hecho por impresión digital. Luego el sistema de producción es por colaje con moldes de escayola típicos, pero el modelo ya se hizo con impresión digital. Este es otro aspecto, otro proyecto con utilización también de técnicas de CNC, que consistía en cortar un poliestireno expandido a partir de planos de 3D que utilizábamos como soportes, como moldes, cuando la arcilla todavía es blanda y la dejamos secar encima de estos soportes. Esto nos permitió hacer formas orgánicas de una forma sistematizada y además cada pieza fue esmaltada una por una por el artista Federic Amat. Por lo tanto, cada pieza es una pieza única y es claramente una mezcla ya de técnicas digitales, de artesanía y de creatividad. Este es el resultado final. Otra posibilidad que existe actualmente es hacer moldes sin modelo, sino ya una vez tienes dibujado la pieza en 3D, lo que se hace es dibujar el molde y fresar de un bloque de escayola directamente el molde, sin utilizar un modelo. Esto te permite hacer correcciones en cada nivel, un poco como la arqueología, pues si hay algún problema, fresar en otro nivel y hacer correcciones. Igualmente, la producción de estas piezas fue por sistema de colaje y son las piezas utilizadas en el Bulli Foundation. Otra técnica que hemos usado es la reproducción de imágenes por impresión. En este caso, impresión sobre papel, papel transfer, que transferíamos sobre la cerámica y la cocíamos. Hay una primera cocción a 1250 grados y luego la aplicación de este transfer con la imagen y con una cocción a 850 para hacer este mural, que es un sitio en Barcelona típico de selfies con el fotógrafo Joan Fontcuberta. En este proyecto de Renzo Piano en Santander empezamos la utilización de robots para la producción de la cerámica. Para mí, uno de los puntos importantes de mi trabajo es la colaboración con el arquitecto desde el inicio de los proyectos, porque es la parte donde puedo aportar, donde puedo hacer posible una idea, pasarla al sistema de producción. En este caso era el análisis del proyecto con Renzo Piano en Génova. Y aquí con una empresa cerca de mi taller de Granollers hicimos la producción de las 280.000 piezas que iban destinadas a la fachada del edificio. Del proyecto de Villanur, de estas piezas onduladas, esmaltadas por Federica Amat y el proyecto de Enric Ruiz-Geli, aprendimos a hacer las proformas para poder prensar de una forma precisa una pieza alabeada que era la fachada del MAT, del Museo de Arte y Tecnología y Arquitectura y Tecnología de Lisboa. Después de prensar, poníamos unas preformas cortadas con CNC para que la pieza no se hundiera al ser blanda saliendo de la prensa. Y este fue un regalo el día de la inauguración que un grupo de Portugal hizo para la inauguración haciendo sonar la cerámica. Estos son pequeños regalos que te hacen la vida. Seguimos trabajando con relación a la naturaleza, siempre presente, con esta inspiración de los colores de la vegetación en este caso. Y estas utilizaciones muy especiales como este proyecto de la tienda de zapatos de Camper en Barcelona, este proyecto del arquitecto japonés Kengo Kuma, una tienda que se montó muy rápidamente, ¿no? Utilizando el color de la arcilla simplemente sin esmaltar. Piezas que tienen que ser muy precisas geométricamente para que puedan montarse, instalarse de esta forma. Uno de los últimos proyectos que hemos hecho y que no se ha inaugurado todavía a causa del COVID es el primer proyecto que hemos hecho con cerámica estructural, o sea que la cerámica sostiene el techo del edificio. Y aquí ya usamos fue el primer proyecto que usamos utilizando los cobots, los robots colaborativos, que creo que es una gran ayuda para esta artesanía, estos robots fáciles de programar que te ayudan en tareas complejas y que vamos usando en muchos proyectos distintos, ¿no? Creativamente hemos hecho un proyecto muy especial, que es utilizar los robots que son mandados o dirigidos por la música. En este caso era un proyecto que la música que utilizamos era el Vivaldi Recomposé de Max Richter. Siempre me preocupó que una extrusión fuera siempre una pieza extrusionada, tuviera siempre el mismo perfil, y quería intervenir a dar una diversidad a las distintas piezas. Y en este proyecto empezamos a hacerlo. Y esto nos llevó a hacer un proyecto en Granollers ya con cobots, pero que reaccionaban en directo a la música de una orquesta. Fue un riesgo muy grande porque es complejo esta coordinación de los robots directamente en tiempo real con el sonido. Y esto lo hicimos conjuntamente con la IAC, el Instituto de Arquitectura Avanzada de Cataluña. Son gente muy joven, muy preparada, con relación en todo el mundo, y que nos atrevimos a hacer este proyecto. Perdón, este vídeo que tenía es un poco largo por el tiempo que me adjudicaron, ¿no? Este proyecto lo hicimos con la colaboración de la Orquesta Ciudad de Granollers y delante de 500 personas.
Tony,
Sí.
¿puede compartir el audio que no sentamos nada?
Ah, perdón, es que no sé.
Nada.
Yo sí lo
Nada
oigo.
más.
Yo sí lo
Gracias.
oigo. Yo lo estoy oyendo. ¿No? Bueno, pues todo esto nos ha llevado a divulgar la cerámica, porque nuestra idea es que la cerámica esté presente como un material del futuro, y en colaboración con la Architectural Association of London hemos hecho trabajos con los alumnos en Londres o en Granollers, y hemos hecho exposiciones donde exponíamos los distintos procedimientos, moldes, procesos y la forma de trabajar. No creemos en los secretos, sino que creemos en que se conozca las posibilidades de la cerámica. Y esta exposición ha ido a Londres, a Madrid, a París, etcétera, ¿no? Hemos hecho conferencias en Liverpool, en todas las facultades de arquitectura que tienen cátedra de cerámica, por nuestro compromiso con esta divulgación. Y tenemos bastantes publicaciones sobre nuestro trabajo, y últimamente recibimos este magnífico catálogo de la exposición de Porcelanicon en Gelb, que nos ha dedicado una parte importante, cosa que nos orgullece mucho, ¿no? Este More Than Bricks de Porcelanicon. Y otro libro que también nos importa mucho es este Ceramic Material Systems, que es un resumen de la cerámica y arquitectura que se hace en el mundo, escrito por Martin Bechtold de la Universidad de Harvard. En el Congreso de la Academia Internacional de Cerámica hubo una exposición con varias piezas nuestras también, que me impresionó estar con obras de toda la historia de la cerámica, ¿no? Y todo esto nos ha llevado a tener este honor, este gran gusto para mí de que la Academia Internacional de Cerámica nos hizo miembro de honor de la Academia. Bueno, hasta aquí mi explicación, que he intentado condensar en esta parte tecnológica, y espero que pueda abrir posibilidades y etcétera, y ganas de defensa y de uso de la cerámica. Buenos días. Gracias por su atención.
Muchas gracias, Tony. Tengo una personal pregunta. Park Güell es realmente maravillosa. ¿Cómo se llama la técnica que usaste para hacerlo? Los bancos o las paredes parecen un mosaico, pero las piezas son todas diferentes.
Para una restauración, lo que teníamos que hacer era reproducir el sistema de producción original que hizo Gaudí. Entonces lo que hicimos fue una arcilla roja, como la arcilla tradicional catalana, con un engobe blanco encima, para que los colores transparentes fueran colores limpios, y entonces las manchas, el dripping, lo hicimos manchando manualmente pieza a pieza, usando la misma técnica que utilizó Gaudí o Jujol, que creo que hay que hablar del arquitecto Jujol para entender a Gaudí. No se puede entender Gaudí sin conocer al arquitecto Jujol. Y nosotros lo que hicimos fue hacer en alta temperatura, para que resistiera el paso del tiempo, reproducir el mismo sistema de producción que se hizo originalmente en el año 1912.
Gracias, muchas gracias, veramente maravilloso.
Gracias a usted.
Before we introduce the second part about innovation in ceramic, I ask you if have any question, and so we can move on if no question.
Perdón un momento.
Dígame.
Es que estoy en Venecia para la inauguración de la Bienal de Arquitectura de Venecia,
Es verdad,
y debo ir a la reunión y no puedo quedarme más en esta conferencia compartida. Lo siento, pero muchas gracias otra vez.
Muchas gracias de nuevo. Now let's move to the second part. We have just to change the seat. You can, okay, just a minute. Here we are, and now let's move on the part 2 to the innovation on ceramic roundtable. And the roundtable is moderated by the Professor Latterini Loredana, and I pass the floor to you. Welcome.
Good morning, all. Nice to meet you, even if not in presence, but remotely. But it's a nice way to have contacts and maintain contact despite the pandemic crisis. Before we start to enter the topic of the roundtable, let me thank the Umbria region for organizing this fine event, and to introduce us, the university that I'm representing at the moment, in this interesting world and topics. I would like to thank the Dr. Emanuela Bossi and Franco Billi for their involvement in support in our actions. So this is the table related to innovation, and we have listened already this morning that Assessore Fioroni spoke about introducing innovation in ceramic will give big challenges to this important economic and social and traditional sector, as well as Elisa Guidi mentioned how important can be to introduce innovation in this processes procedure. So what I want to talk about, show today, our way of introducing innovation in the ceramic sector. And I want to underline that this introduction can be done taking into account the tradition, actually not destroying the tradition, but taking advantage of the differences in the traditional ceramics that we have all around the world, and from there starting to improve the functionalities of the ceramic production. So I want to make sure that Tony Gumella will not be should not be afraid about our action. We will not destroy tradition. Actually, we will hope to make it stronger. And another thing that I want to underline is that the tradition can be introduced without making a catalog. And that's the way actually we used to introduce our expertise in the ceramic sector, trying to reply to the necessities of the enterprise that we have been in contact with. So that's I want to underline that the points that Tony Gumella, so the artist pointed out, are actually the way we used. So the things that we are going to present today, so myself and my colleague that are close to me, so Professor Runfola, Andrea Runfola from the Department of Economics, and Professor Valeria Menchetelli from the Department of Civil Engineer, are just example of what we can do. So university research entities can do in the ceramic sector, starting from the necessities of local enterprises. And then afterwards, we will also listen to the experience of a professionist that already worked with in contact with ceramic, this Dr. Elisabetta Furin, who will present her experience afterwards. So let me start, otherwise I will talk too much and will use all the time in chatting, and it's not the point of this event. So myself, I'm a chemist, so I'm from the Department of Chemistry, Biology and Biotechnology from the University of Perugia, and so I want to show what I'm expert on. So what are my expertise in research. So I'm working, I'm busy, I'm fascinated actually with nanomaterials. So materials, solid materials of nanometer size. So something really small that the eyes cannot see actually, something that we need electron microscopy to visualize. Why these are so interesting? Because when you reduce the size of materials to these small shapes, you can control the electronic behavior, and more importantly also the optical, the color behavior. And then it's much easier to functionalize the surface to make it easily dispersible in different media. So this is what I'm busy or interested in research work, what I'm doing for my academic duties and career. How can this expertise can be translated? So a chemical expertise in nanomaterials, how can be translated in the ceramic sector? Actually, chemistry can give the know-how to treat materials that can be used in ceramic. And when I mean materials, I mean either raw materials and waste material. We can add functionalities to ceramics. I will show later on an example, adding colors, different optical effect, but this is not limited to this, because we can add many functionalities, because we know that these nanomaterials, for example, may have isolating properties or conductive properties, can have magnetization properties. So we can put all this on even in ceramics. what also much more important to make ceramics sector closer to the circular economy, use our know-how, our expertise to optimize the procedure and processes in order to make to recover waste materials and make use of them either in the same ceramic procedures sector, either thinking to enlarge the chain of ceramics, thinking about different production, for example. So this is what we can do much more in general. And we started to discuss, thanks to CLAY project, with the local enterprises. And that's something that's really interesting. So that's thanks to CLAY that actually we had the possibility to establish stable contacts with the local enterprises, listen which are their necessities, their even curiosities, because these are most of them are artists, so the curiosity, and we can experiment. So what I want to say that we can translate our fundamental knowledge, expertise in industrial research. So university cannot give recipes in agreement, as Tony Gunella said, but can give know-how to make it possible to go in a certain direction, and after industrial research, propose something that can be extremely useful for enterprises. So these are just few examples of what we are discussing, testing, experimenting. These doesn't want to be exhaustive, so means that university with different expertise can do much more. This is something that we are doing in reply to what the local enterprises were asking us. So, for example, we could use the knowledge that we have as chemists in hydration, solvation processes to recover waste clays. So the industries, the enterprises actually had asked us, how can I make use of something that is waste? Actually, it's something I pay for discharge. So, and we started to make tests, different experimental conditions, and these are the preliminary tests we are running in our laboratory, in our lab, which shows that actually modifying the experimental condition, we can recover these waste clays and make use of it. Actually, we can even control the fluidity of the outcome. So fundamental knowledge, solvation processes, which is something really basic in chemistry and physics, can turn up to be something useful for an enterprise. So, I mean, it's something in progress. We have to verify that it's true, but that's the way we can proceed. Another thing concerning to make more compatible the ceramic sector with the Green Deal is to recover enamels, pigments from the waste mixture. Even in this case, we start with something that is not a useless, not useful color, so a gray color that is a mixture of different enamels, and then after some I'm sorry, this is there is a cut, so you cannot see, but there was an enlargement of the middle picture. So after several treatments or tests, we could actually recover the green, red, and yellow color enamels. So something that the industry can test to be reused in their production. And as I said, we try to do all this experiment, keeping in mind that the procedure have to be sustainable. So we are chemists, but we know that Green Deal is important. So the procedure we are testing are all sustainable, low or zero impact, no waste material to be produced. So most of the time, 99% of the time we work with water, just to be clear. And then another thing, because also Tony was speaking about colors. Actually, colors is something that is really on my experience, on my background. So what we can do with nanoparticles, we can make colors, new colors in ceramics. That these are just examples. So we can just add colors to the final product. Or already adding during the production. And these are the top left image is the one of the first try that we had with an enterprise in Deruta. And then we can also make more sophisticated things with nanoparticles, so we can have colors that appears different with different illumination light. So we have very vanish color that becomes really bright when you are in a more dark environment. We can mix color, so we can have this color that becomes luminescent, even producing different color effect. I mean, this is something that is really innovative, according to me, and and it's challenging. It's challenging because we can prepare this material that can be introduced without altering the actual procedure of the ceramic production. So we don't need to change temperature at the moment. We can deliver these nanoparticles in a way HEMLs are used in the ceramic sector. This is something really challenging, as I was saying, because can open up the way to really new lightning effect, and can give new functionalities, for example, to ceramic that so far, as to the best of my knowledge, I have not been explored. So just to conclude my short presentation, so I need again to thank Clay and the people that organized and coordinated the proposal, because helped to establish contacts and find the right connection between expertise, research expertise, and needs of the local enterprises. The action that have been carried out, as I said, are not exhaustive of what we can do or can be done, but just give us the idea that it's possible, can be done, so we can proceed further. And because we have introduced something that is really far from a technological point of view, has nanomaterials in the production process, and this can add value to the ceramic products without altering. So the enterprise do not need to change their way of producing, of working with ceramic. We are improving the production chain with a nanotechnological approach, so this means that we can reduce extremely drastically the wastes. This is something that, as I show you, we are working on. And what can be for the future? Well, use the same kind of approach, different materials, of course, optimize things to add the functionalities to the ceramics. So choose specific and relevant materials in order to add functionality, to broaden, for example, the market and the target of people that can be interested in ceramic production. So I just want to give an hint on what we can do. Now I thank you for the attention, and I will leave the floor to my colleague. So Professor Andrea Runfola from the Department of Economics. Just a second.
Sì, infatti. Okay, good morning to everybody, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here. And as I told, as we are speaking now about the contribution that the university can give to sustain the ceramic sector, I will speak about innovation in the ceramic sector from a marketing perspective. As I'm an associate professor of marketing here at the University of Perugia, I'm actually tried to put some keywords that can synthesize my research and how this research can be useful for the ceramic sector. And so I have very few slides about who I am and especially what are the area of expertise in terms of marketing. This morning, from the words of the assessore, we understood how also innovation could be addressed from a marketing perspective, so from a commercial part and sales. So this is actually what I would like to share with you, starting from my, let's say, direction for research that could be, in some sense, which matching the needs of the ceramic sector. And first of all, one of the my main focus in research is how companies, especially small, medium enterprises companies and family businesses can go abroad. I mean, in the earlier session, we had a very remarkable example from Spain about how family and generations are important. So he said the fifth generation of the company. And so we have they are not only small, medium and sized companies, we are also family business companies. And this means that these kind of elements could be exploited in international markets. And I have here some of the main words that I try to highlight to explain what I'm meaning, the meaning. But I say that there are companies which are strongly rooted in the territory. So this could be exploited from an international point of view because we have stories to tell. And today we have listened to the fact that we have this kind of heritage that could be driver for internationalization, as well as craftsmanship, authenticity. Being authentic is now more than ever important also for consumers. New generations, I will come back with this later, they search for really true authentic companies. So this is a very important element. And connected to this, how to try to find business partners abroad. This is another topic related to internationalization, but because what is, of course, related to small, medium-sized company normally, of course, is a lack of resources and the difficulties they may have in going abroad, because this could be related to lack of knowledge, but also to approach, let's say, retail channels and distribution channels. So one of the main directions of my research with regard to small, medium enterprises and family business is how to find new partners abroad, how to find and to convince partners about the story that we can tell, and starting from the heritage, the craftsmanship and authenticity of the companies. These two, of course, are elements that I put together in the same slides to say that, of course, most of the what I have studied in my research regarding this kind of companies is try to find partners which personally believed on the story and they really remain fascinated about what we can offer as companies in the ceramic sector. But of course, we have also to take another part, which is digitalization. That's another topic that I always say that we have not, as stated earlier, we have not to destroy what is the heritage. This is the reason why I started from the heritage. But so digital tools, they have to support. This doesn't mean that we have to become digital in a certain sense, but we have to use digital tools. And what for me is, of course, is digital transformation in general, but especially new digital marketing tools. That means e-commerce, of course, but it means also social media. Social media. Before we listen to the role of colors That's very important because we may have the same in social media. Now, social media are more, let's say, image-based social media. So you can use color to propose and to sell in social media. So this is what I am studying, and also the new generations of influencer marketing, because I mean, new kinds of influencer marketing are emerging. For example, in design, in sustainability issues. So there are many spaces for this, and of course the integration between online and offline experience. This is very important, because what I have experimented is the fact that this product, they have to be shown in some sense, they have to be told to the people that they have to be experienced in digital spaces, because in physical spaces, because you can actually experience, live the product. And this is very important as well. I have studied especially for specialty goods and luxury products. And remember one stuff about luxury, for example, during the pandemic in 2020, the online channel doubled for the sales of luxury product, while the luxury personal goods in the same period decreased. So this means that the digital channels, of course, has acquired even more importance with the pandemic. And of course, the last part that is my research is about new trends in consumer behavior. And when we speak about new trends in consumer behavior, we speak about three main actually aspects that which is a part of my expertise. One is the new generations. I mean, of consumers. We know that Generation Z with respect to millennials, and we know that they are different, because Generation Z is a generation that since the years they have been exposed to social networks, to mobile systems, to every kind of, I mean, digital media, but they are also a pragmatic generation. They call the true generation, because the millennials are more related to, let's say, idealistic, more per se, personal, I mean, aspect of consumption, while Generation Z is more, let's say, there is a more appreciation about authenticity product, for example, ethical, but they also are a little bit, let's say, more pragmatic. So it should be concrete when we have to explain to this kind of generation how the products are made and how can they use it. And of course, the new middle class in international markets. Again, this morning, we have a session that we spoke about the Chinese consumers. And there is a rising middle class in many other countries rather than China. And China, of course, is one of the biggest markets also. So we have a new middle class. They have possibilities in terms of how housing, decoring the house, and so it's a potential target. And the end, sustainable consumption. Of course, we spoke about sustainability, but sustainability is mostly also related to the heritage. I mean, we have companies which are related to a generation, to the maintenance of the local culture, knowledge. So there's also this kind of sustainability that could be appreciated, not only ecological. That's of course important. So these are the area of research. As we said, we have made as a universities contact with companies thanks to the CLAY project, and we have made some, that's the last slide about the interaction that we have begun. We have done preliminary contacts on this, but what are the main areas that have been developed for the moment? Could be interesting to develop as well in the near future. One is content marketing and digital marketing strategies. This is a very felt need, how to explain, how to emerge in the competition, especially if you consider the digital channel, how to make level of the heritage and the territorial roots in the digital environment. This is very important, and how to support online marketing strategies. And of course, new retail channels in the online market. There are e-commerce and multi-brand retailers. I mean, we spoke about China before, and we know that there are many, let's say, e-platforms that are interested in premium products, and that Chinese, for example, they use to buy this kind of products. So they could be target of both content and of course for sales. And at the end, the expansion in foreign markets is a very felt need. So how to find new clients and how to respond to pandemic. So new strategies for the pandemic. This, of course, is another very important topic. I want to, let's say, just conclude on this saying that, of course, the pandemic has dramatically changed and has a negative impact on the economy, but also shows to us how the home is important as a living space for people. So they had time to rethink how to decorate the house and the home, because everybody were close at home. And so we had time to spend, and ceramic is, of course, a way of that can exploit this kind of new thinking about the home and how the space should be. I mean, because we had time to spend in house during this pandemic. So thanks for the attention and for all.
Thank you very much for your presentation and for your interesting inputs. There is any question from the audience? Or if not, we can move on, and then there will be a small discussion afterwards to Professor Menchetelli. Sorry, we have some seat exchange to make the things working. Just a few seconds of patience. So Professor Menchetelli is from the Department of Civil Engineer. Well, just a second, we have a problem with the version of the file, so he has to change, she has to change the kind of file to open. Just technical issue. Okay, it will be solved. Okay, we are close. Nice, thank you. So, Professor Menchetelli, I'll leave you the floor.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very pleasure to be here. And I'm Valeria Menchetelli. I'm a member of the research group formed by Paolo Belardi, Professor Paolo Belardi, and Benedetta Terenzi. We have been working on the clay project since 2019 with the first research path. Our work at the time was aimed at experimenting with the contamination or hybridization between the traditional ceramic sector and other manufacturing sector. And in particular, we experimented with the contamination between ceramics and fashion design, and with jewel design specifically. We tried to characterize jewels through a strong root with the territory and its origins, the Umbrian territory in particular. The jewels were conceived as 3D printed structures that can be customized by the user through the insertion of the ceramic elements inspired by the traditional aesthetics of Umbrian typical decoration. At the present, we are collaborating with two enterprises that are Ceramiche Rometti and Passeri Ceramiche d'Arte. Our approach is an approach based on project design. Project design is a creative mode that is very different from the artistic gesture, but the project design approach is equally spectacular and meaningful. It is a method which, through which it is possible to move from the current knowledge level to towards future scenarios. With this approach, we can imagine a futuristic future, and the project design can outline the path that makes this future concretely possible. The objective that we have, that we are spending with the companies, the enterprises involved, is to offer innovative answers and to orient the evolution of the production methods towards three goals. First of all, the strengthening of the link with the territory of origin as the Umbrian territory. And our goal is to enhance the Made in Italy and Made in Umbria identity in particular. The second goal is the development of production techniques that can take advantage of the recent technological innovations as 3D printing, for example. The third goal is the contamination of the ceramic sector with other production sectors in establishing a relationship of mutual exchange. We saw the contamination between ceramic sector and fashion design sector, but also the contamination between ceramic sector and architecture, for example. Our expertise, our skills are in two fields, fundamental fields. We can propose a process innovation through the introduction of new production methods also from other sectors. We see in 3D printing, for example, but we can offer and we can propose also a product innovation through the creation of new product lines with conceptual and aesthetic characteristics that can express the link, the profound link with the territory. What are the development areas that we are proposing to the enterprises? There are three areas, first the production through the development of creative methods through new techniques, not only 3D printings, but also other shaping techniques. For example, the addition, the contamination between different production techniques. The second development area is related to the material. We can propose the introduction of new materials also for their aesthetic value. For example, the hybridization of ceramics with other materials as paper, for example, and that this can consent to exploit the properties of both materials, ceramic and the other materials. The third development area is the sustainability. In particular, the valorization of waste, of production waste, through recycling or through the minimization of the impact, but also through conferring to waste materials an aesthetic value. For example, in this case, these are the expertise that we are offering to the companies, to the enterprises, and on which we are working at this time. And I wait for your answers, for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So there is any question from the audience? If not, I propose to move further to the Dr. Elisabetta Furin.
Here I am. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Elisabetta.
Okay.
I leave you the floor.
Thank you, Loredana. A special thanks to Franco Billi and Emanuela Bossi for the invitation. Today, I would like to show you a presentation about a special project about ceramic, artistic ceramic and design. The project was Ceramica Made in Umbria, a special collection with a lot of artisans of our region. I share the presentation. Okay, can you see it? Can you see the presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks for the feedback. My name is Elisabetta Furin, and I'm the chief designer of this special collection, Ceramica Made in Umbria, edited by Regione Umbria, Division for Politics and Enterprise Credit and Internationalization. The project Ceramica Made in Umbria aims to promote artistic ceramic as a major production sector in Umbria, yet with a historic family tradition behind it and a strong physical presence in the local community. This project arose from research into the current situation of ceramic manufacturers. An analysis was made of the social and economic situation of the sector of Umbrian artistic ceramics to assess the level of the preparation for internationalization and the capacity to offer guidelines to define future development programs. The research was conducted together with the University of Perugia. The study showed the need for a prompt change of direction to recover what it seems as an innovative and technological underdevelopment, which reflects negatively on company performance and the ability to open up to foreign markets. Innovation can be the creation of new products or more efficient manufacturing processes. However, it must raise the level of the quality of artistic craftwork, which has suffered negatively over the years as a result mainly of the need to reduce prices, to encourage competition, and by the lack of an adequate training system for the workers. In the current phase, where internal demand is weak, the Umbrian ceramic enterprises will have to commit themselves to attempting to enter those markets, which look to our country as a world capital of art and the culture of luxury goods. Having seen the result of the research, the Regional Authority of Umbria wanted to create an innovative collection to transmit a new message. The ceramic sector is updating its century-old artistic tradition. The Regional Authority of Umbria has ordered a communication plan to give the initiative maximum publicity and to promote the companies in the ceramic sector, in order to guarantee the success of the project Ceramica Made in Umbria. the Umbria Regional Authority has gathered together 21 of the best artisan companies in the area for this project, Ceramica Made in Umbria, which aims to relaunch Maiolica as a form of art. The initiative will return to the unique roots of its tradition in an attempt to create a new image of Umbrian ceramics and introduce it to both consolidated and emerging international market as well. The concept of the collection is defined by the expression, the contemporary banquet. The symposium is a central element of classical and Etruscan culture in our region, and it used to be an opportunity to celebrate man in the principal aspect of his daily life. All the various product sectors, from the more traditional tableware to the more current furnishing, accessories, gifts, and interior and outdoor decorating. The collection has taken its inspiration from classical Umbrian decorations of the Middle Ages and Renaissance, and sensitively added an elegant contemporary twist. The artisans have had fruitful discussion regarding design as the culture behind the project. As chief designer in charge of designing all the pieces in the collection, I followed principles of contamination and experimentation. I conceive the culture of the project as an important vehicle to enhance artistic craft work and as a catalyst for the innovation, to interpret the contemporary ethos and steer tradition towards the future. A contemporary slant to commemorate and celebrate the aesthetics of an artistic tradition and to merge them into everyday excellence. In the project collection, Maiolica converses with unusual materials, such as cashmere wool, to explore new ideas. Some of the projects, some of the objects. And at the ending of my presentation, here there are some many events about Ceramica Made in Umbria collection. The launch of the collection was together with Sensational Umbria exhibition, an exhibition of the great photographer Steve McCurry, a great project, a photographic project here in our region. This contemporary banquet was also showed in Zona Tortona during the Milano Design Week. And the design of the collection was chosen by the prestigious selection of ADI Design Index. Italy, in New York, has dedicated its 50th Avenue window to this collection for a month, to celebrate our region. And there has been a great appreciation from many international clients. During the last expo in Milan, we presented a special version of this collection with the lustro finishing, an ancient traditional technique of Umbrian Maiolica, characterized by golden metallic reflection. Recently, we launched an international competition to promote young designers and students to create innovative proposals for ceramics. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for presenting us the effort that have been already carried out for the ceramic sector here in Umbria. I would like to ask if there are a question to the audience. If not, I know that in the audience there should be some of the enterprises partner that we are talking with in these weeks or days. So I think there is a representative of Rometti, if I'm not wrong, and of Ceramic Sambuco. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to involve you in this discussion because, of course, we are all from the academic world or from a professional, but from one side, I would like to have your point of view about this way of trying to make connection and try to introduce our expertise, our knowledge, which are different in the ceramic production in the ceramic sector. What is your experience with us and with the things that we are proposing?
We have only just literally started with you. I think we have our first appointment tomorrow. But one thing I would like to note is what I've heard a lot during this conversation is the discussion of waste. I am the account manager for Ceramica Rometti. And one thing that I note is that we waste a lot of time, we waste a lot of products, we waste, there are so many processes through the ceramic industry that are very unclear, very uncertain. And even though we have been working in the industry since 1927, and obviously we're very famous for our contemporary art, we still have so many uncertainties when we produce specifically new pieces that we feel are innovative. We have to do a lot of testing without necessarily fully understanding, I don't know, the chemical reaction or how the clay can necessarily dry, if it can sustain what we want it to do. And so we have to go slowly to see what happens, therefore wasting, I would say, a lot of time, because we then may think that the situation is under control. And then when we try to put it into full-blown production, we still have the same difficulties because everything is so very uncertain. For us, I think it's fundamental to have this connection with the university where maybe you can answer some of those questions or give us some form of idea of how we can try to manage some of the ceramic processes, obviously without changing them too much, because we're very proud on our communication, the fact that we still produce things the way we did in the 1920s and the 1930s. But for me, the issue is waste and trying to improve that and improving our productivity. At the same time, also giving something new to our customers.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if somebody else wants to add something before I propose my reply. If not, yes, I completely agree with you. I had the impression that I mean, I'm from Deruta, so I'm born and grew up among ceramics. My mom was an hand painter, so I know what I'm speaking about. But I had the wrong conception that ceramic workers or enterprises didn't want really to change a lot. They were happy with what they are doing. Instead, I was wrong. So this connection was really interesting because I had the clear idea that they are experimentalists more than I am. So on a daily basis, you are trying to change something, to introduce innovation. But what I found is that you do this on a trial and error base. So you try, doesn't work, then you change something else. That's where I think the researcher with different expertise of course competencies could help. Try to give specific answer to specific question from a different background, so coming from a different background. So you are speaking about processes, for example, chemical reaction. This can be my field. Yeah. So not because I'm expert in that specific reaction, but doesn't mean that I can study, I can think about a series of experiments to test the difficulties that you found, and then propose you an answer. So that's, according to me, the way research and production, I would say, should introduce innovation, not just destroying everything, but step by step, because of course it is clear to me, and I think to all my colleagues, that meanwhile that we are doing research, you have to continue to produce and find markets and pay salary to your employees. That's
correct.
Yeah. So it has to be something step by step in order to first of all come closer as approach, find solution that fits in your machinery, for example, or in your or the competencies of your employees. So you cannot come with something from the blue sky, because it will not be useful. This is something that I understood. Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are other comments?
Mi permetto. Sì, mi permetto innanzitutto di ringraziare a tutti e salutare Elena e prego di portare a Massimo i miei personali saluti, però c'è stata una imperfezione che la professoressa Latterini ha commesso, che quando dice che non è esperta, in realtà è molto umile, però vi posso assicurare che oltre che una bellissima persona, le competenze non mancano, vi voglio tranquillizzare. Ecco.
Thank you.
Sicura.
Thank you. There are other comments? If not, I have another question that actually I'm much curious about, and this I would like to involve all my colleagues, so Elisabetta Furin also, and also Rometti Enterprise. I'm curious to know if you think that to have a multidisciplinary approach in the introduction innovation could be so as kind of synergic effect. So design with colors, or Andrea before mentioned the idea that the social media use colors. So for example, to have a colorful pottery would be better than, so to create a synergy in our competencies to reply to the needs of enterprises, if you think it will be more effective than the way that we start with. Elena, if you want to start, you are welcome. We don't listen, we don't hear.
Just 1 second. There you are. Sorry. No, I definitely agree. It's about, I think, supply and demand. So we're fully aware that with Instagram, etc., you can see some amazing videos. There's a lot of followers in the ceramic industry, and sometimes I see things and think, oh my god, I don't actually know how they're doing this. We think we're a company that are very well informed, I would say, in all the various processes, but I think there's always something to learn. So working with the university and working together, I think is fundamental to be able to do that, not only for our production, as I was saying before, to improve costs, but also to give something new to our clients. They always want something new. As I said, we're very proud, I have to be honest, of what we've managed to do so far. but there's always room for improvement. And I think it's very important to introduce new stakeholders in our processes, and not just to stick to the things that we do currently. So to be able to mix things up a little bit, I think is fundamental. We need to move forward with the times. We can't always stay with our with our foundations from the 1930s. So yeah, no, definitely, 100% agree, and we can't wait.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're
we
welcome.
agree. We can wait. So my colleagues, Andrea, for example, what do you think?
Yes, I don't know how without maybe.
Well,
With-
it's up to you.
Let's take it. We don't know. What I can say is that, of course, the different perspective can add value. I mean, from the marketing side, I would say that we always start from the product. So when we were speaking before, for example, about waste, that could be also something which waste management in the ceramics, that could be also considered in terms of consumer point of view, in the sense that there is an appreciation for this kind of, let's say, also ethical aspects of the production. So what I could say that we can give some insight and try to capture some trends from the consumer point of view to create the value around the product. At the same time, we were mentioning about the communication. That's fundamental. I mean, I was making before this example, so because we have to try to find new ways of giving to tell the stories that there are, and colors and images are really very important in this industry, in this sector, and that can be very, very useful in the new digital environment where digital media are more image-based, more content-based about videos, and other stuff that I would like to add. So is also how this could be integrated. I mean, with let's say we took Instagram as an example. We can use the stories for Instagram to create to start from the product and try to not, let's say, tell the story of the product. So we can recreate the same color. So that could be something that definitely should be done with interplay with design and production and of course marketing, because this from our side what we can contribute to deliver the value with the new means. Of course, what I said, new means are to support what has already the heritage of the companies.
We made a decision, sorry if I start to, we made a decision through lockdown to invest, I have to be honest, quite a big budget for our small company on a new website to be able to do exactly that. But obviously we're talking about a big budget for a small company. So we know it's very, very important. We had to involve a company that are experts, I would say, in this side of things, and we're very happy with the website that we've created, and we've had a lot of results from that new website. So it definitely, what you were saying is obviously 100% true. We've found that has improved things. A lot of our customers were saying that they loved our products, but we were a little bit lacking on communication to enable the sale of the goods at the prices that they need to sell them at. So, yeah.
Thank you. I would like to ask Valeria.
Yes.
So she already speak about contamination, but
yes. I think that certainly it could be useful right from the initial stage of the relationship with enterprises between researcher and enterprises to establish a synergy with the whole team involved, not only in a multidisciplinary sense, but also in interdisciplinary sense, because this approach can foster a more coherent and effective response to the companies, the enterprises, regarding all the aspects they intend to develop. And this approach is an approach that we call product service system design. This approach can can affect the entire product ecosystem before, during, and after manufacture, and in terms of both products and services. So I think that it could be useful to adopt this approach.
Thank you. Elisabetta, what is your opinion?
Yeah, I guess the creativity is fundamental for the innovation. In every discipline, we need a new approach, a new vision about things. And creativity, design, and art has the capacity, the possibility to imagine new scenarios and a new way of innovation about production, about communication, about designing. Yeah.
Ok, thank you very much. Su questo punto vorrei sentire anche l'opinione del rappresentante della ditta Sambuco. Lucio, se sei con noi.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Buongiorno,
Allora, vorremmo
buongiorno,
sapere cosa pensi, qual è la tua posizione riguardo alla possibilità di avere un approccio multi-interdisciplinare all'introduzione dell'innovazione nel settore della ceramica. Quindi no, il design, la chimica, il marketing, che non risposte singole, ma risposte in sinergia.
Sì, grazie. Scusatemi se intervengo in italiano, ma in inglese mi sarebbe più difficile. Ma mi è piaciuta una cosa che hai detto durante l'intervento iniziale, ed è quella che l'innovazione non distrugge la tradizione. E questa credo che sia la cosa alla quale noi dovremmo in questo momento tendere per spingere avanti e guardare il futuro, appunto in un percorso storico che parte per quanto riguarda la nostra terra dal 1200 ad oggi. Se non c'era innovazione, ancora coloravamo con Verdelamina e Bruno di Manganese come si faceva nel Medioevo. Poi abbiamo avuto la fortuna di introdurre il colore financo ad arrivare all'esperienza del lustro metallico, esperienza che è stata valorizzata anche dall'architetto Furin nella collezione promossa dalla regione Umbria. Credo che sia importantissimo aver avuto la possibilità di incontrare la ricerca universitaria. Altrettanto importante credo che sia la possibilità, e questo credo che vada favorito in qualche modo, la possibilità dell'incontro di artisti innovatori con le aziende ceramiche. L'intervento di Tony Cumella è stato importantissimo, perché ci dimostra le possibilità attraverso le quali possiamo arrivare all'innovazione di prodotto. Io dico sempre questo: siamo chi più chi meno abili artigiani, utilizziamo bene i nostri strumenti, dal tornio arcaico alla tavolozza dei colori, però è importante, come è sempre avvenuto, che ci confrontiamo con chi sta un passo avanti di noi, e la possibilità di interazione tra appunto gli artisti innovatori e le aziende, credo che possa dare impulso ad un'innovazione di prodotto anche nell'ambito delle nostre realtà che sono più artigianali e non così 4.0, diciamo. Noi portiamo avanti una tradizione, ma in quella tradizione dobbiamo avere il modo di poter innovare. Innovare nel design, innovare nella ricerca dei materiali. Prima ho ascoltato con interesse la possibilità di interazione tra la ceramica e altri materiali. È stato interessantissimo il tuo intervento sulle nanoparticelle, la possibilità di trasformare il colore, di creare oggetti che possano interagire con strumenti contemporanei e allo stesso momento siano oggetti che siano belli esteticamente e che ogni giorno ci possano dare il senso del bello. Il senso del bello non ce la dà solo una ceramica istoriata, il senso del bello ce la dà anche una cosa moderna che abbiamo visto in quei meravigliosi progetti portati avanti appunto da Tony Cumella, ma può essere anche un centro tavola che oltre ad essere esteticamente bello ha anche una funzionalità, per esempio, conduttrice, che può interagire con gli strumenti mobile, per dire. Questa è una scommessa sulla quale credo che noi dobbiamo giocare. Io ringrazio questa occasione che ci è stata data e che spero anche nel futuro possa essere portata avanti, appunto per affrontare questa nuova realtà, questa nuova scommessa che lega l'estetica con la funzionalità e con il digitale, eccetera, eccetera. Oggi non ne possiamo fare a meno, secondo me. Grazie.
Grazie. So if there are further comments. So if not, I would like to thank all the participants to this round table. So I think there are different inputs that can be further exploited, organized to move on this contact. So actually collaboration between researcher entities and enterprises. So thank you very much. And so this is, thank you.
Hello, thank you very much to the whole participant, to the stakeholder, and to the professor university. Very, very good presentation. And thanks especially to Professor Latterini for the good moderation work. And now we have 5 minutes to break, and after we meet again to the second part, to the second roundtable in experiences from the clay region and next step to the project. So we take a break. Hello, everybody. We come back. And now we start to the second roundtable. And the roundtable is moderated by Irene Pettinelli, our technical assistant for Umbria region and from Resolvo. Hello, welcome, Irene.
Hello, and, good morning, everyone.
And now I pass the floor to you.
Thank you, Emanuela. Thanks a lot also for this very interesting event today. It has been a pleasure to listen to the previous speakers, both in the plenary session and at the roundtable. It was really, really inspiring for us and much linked to what we have been doing in Clay till now, as you know very well. So good morning again, everyone. Before starting this roundtable, I would just like to share a couple of slides to show our partners, the Clay Consortium. So there are 6 partners in Clay from all over Europe. We have our great lead partner, the Regione Umbria, who is hosting us today. Then we have the communication manager, located in Spain, but a bit all over Europe as well, the European Association of Ceramic Cities, represented today by our roundtable by Giuseppe Olmetti. Then we have our Romanian partner, the Regional Development Agency of Southwest Oltenia. Mihaela Lupancescu is with us today, sitting at the round table. Then we move on up north, up to Finland, with the Regional Council of South Ostrobothnia. And we have the project manager, Elisa Kratari, with us today. Welcome, Elisa. And then we move back south to Portugal, where we have the Technological Center of Ceramic and Glass from Central Region. And today we have Regina Santos at our roundtable. And last but not least, we go to Nouvelle-Aquitaine in France with the Pôle Européen de la Céramique. And we have here today with us Alexandra Baudrouet, the project manager from the Pôle Européen de la Céramique. So it's quite a wide consortium. In a second, we will see a little bit more what all these partners have been doing in the past 3 years, because Clay started with a great kickoff meeting in Umbria in June 2018, and many things have happened since then. This slide is only to show very briefly, before passing the floor to our speakers, what Clay has been doing. We like to think about Clay as a puzzle, because that's what we have been doing. We have been trying to put various pieces together. We have started from an analysis of the territories, of their needs, and then we have moved on to discussing together with the regional stakeholders and with our interregional partners to see what could be done to address the needs identified. And the final output of all these is the development of the action plans. The action plans are what our 5 regions have been working on in the past 3 years, and that's why we are here today. So in a couple of weeks, maybe less, on 31st of May, Clay project will end the first phase of work, which is devoted to exchange and learning with other partners, to move on to the second phase. That's when all the regions will be implementing their action plan. They will be producing real impacts on their territory, thanks to the interregional work. This is something that we are all much looking forward. So I'd say that today we've managed to put the Clay puzzle together, and we look forward to what comes next. After this very brief introduction, I would like to make a first question to the Clay lead partner, to our project manager, Emanuela Bossi. So maybe Emanuela, would you like to tell us a bit more what Clay has been doing in these 3 years? And second question, how you as Umbria region, you have translated this work in your action plan?
Thank you, Irene. It's a very interesting question. One of the institutional purposes of the Umbria region is to promote and support artistic ceramic. In Umbria, there are 5 cities of ancient ceramic tradition, and ceramic are part of the Umbria culture. So in 2017, we wanted to create a partnership with other 5 regions in other European states, all linked by the ceramic artistic tradition. With this partner, we presented the clay project in the Interreg Euro program. The project was admitted to the 2nd place in the competitiveness category among all the projects presented. 3 years have passed and many things have been done. Among these, the most important are certainly the comparative sector analysis through the different states. The sector analysis was carried out through a specific survey sent to the stakeholders, and the result on the sector analysis showed a structural difference between the different ceramic sector on different regions. In the consortium, we have 2 regions with very small company, as well as the Umbria region and the Southwest Oltenia, Romania. 2 regions with a medium and large company, Region do Centro, Portugal, and Nouvelle-Aquitaine region from France. And then we have the South Ostrobothnia from Finland, where the approach to ceramic is focused on the entrepreneur artist creativity and on environment respect. So, although all 5 regions are different, if we analyze the data through the SWOT analysis, we can see that the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats are the same. We speak of traditional creativity, know-how as a strength, but in the same way, there are weaknesses with a low level of ICT, management, strategy, technological support, marketing, low internalization. But very often, this weakness and the threats can become opportunities as for internationalization, cooperation, waste reduction, and learning. So the sector analysis results allow us to have the knowledge of the real dimension of the ceramic sector in the consortium. Another very important thing that we have done in these 3 years, past years, it was the need analysis, also carried out by sending a survey to our stakeholders. The need analysis results showed with the innovation need in clay region, the measure to boost innovation, and the most important sector that can support innovation needs and the barriers to innovation. In phase 1, despite the impossibility of traveling in this last year, we have 6 interregional learning took place where we met new good practice which inspired the action plan of each region. And so about Umbria region, I can see that the result of Umbria region needs analysis show that innovation on product, process, and marketing is the most urgent need to be addressed. And the grant and the financial incentives are the most requisite support measure. The lack of knowledge of a possible innovation and the lack of a human financial resource show that the financial incentives alone cannot effectively meet the need of Umbria ceramic SMEs. According to the triple helix model, a collaboration between university and the industrial company and the political part is necessary to transfer innovation to company, and this is a key component for the effective result exploitation of R&D. An effective support program for the Umbria territory should integrate economic aid in a wider framework of collaboration with the research training institute that accompany SMEs along the entire innovation path. So, from the joint result of the need analysis and the sector analysis linked with the good practice learned, we have developed an action plan that aims to define new policy strategy for the ceramic sector. And so our action plan, our action plan title is a financial incentives for SMEs innovation in the ceramic sector. So the ambitious goal of our action plan is to support the access innovation in collaboration with the University of Perugia. The action plan will allow companies to apply for grant to fund knowledge and innovation support from the various departments of the University of Perugia. With absence of the Ceramic Research Center within the Umbria region, the university is the regional reference for innovation. The support service will allow ceramic company to acquire relevant knowledge and skill for innovation and growth. And so learning from the scheme will also be used to investigate how new funding method can be applied across the RDF PR funding measures, such as those to fund internalization. As a request for Interreg Europe pilot action is proposed to launch the financial incentives for SMEs. And so the pilot action must have a final approach in this May 2020. With this pilot action, we can test the type of financing, and then the result and the follow-up become the milestone to support the ceramic company through the RDF fund. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Emanuela. You have you managed to go on 3 years of project work in a very short time. So thanks about that. And from your words, there are two things that are particularly interesting for Clay. So the first thing is that despite the COVID crisis, partners could continue their work, both at local level with your stakeholders, and we saw pretty creative ways of managing this in the COVID period. And then also at interregional level, discussing with each other. So that's a very good good achievement of Clay. So thank you very much. And about your work in Umbria region, we are all looking forward to see what will happen in phase 2. So how you will manage to test and roll out this ambitious action. So we hope that in about 2 years from now, we will be able to meet again with all these participants in Brussels for the final event of Clay. So where we will see what the actions have achieved. So thanks a lot. And talking about stakeholders, I would like to move on to the next speaker. So Elisa Kratari from Finland, Regional Council of South Ostrobothnia. Emanuela has talked about work with stakeholders on needs analysis, sector analysis, and so on. And Elisa, in your region, you managed to achieve a very good level of collaboration with stakeholder, good level of exchange with them. So would you tell us a bit more how you managed to achieve these? Also, we think there may have been some difficulties to achieve these. So floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, and greetings from sunny and very spring-like Seinäjoki. Indeed, I have accomplished during the clay project different types of activities with stakeholders and also other actors in our ceramics field in the South Ostrobothnia region. One of the possibility most important steps that I decided to take quite early on was to change the my approach to stakeholder meetings into sessions for really like brainstorming and mutual learning sessions, and to give as much possibilities for the stakeholders to bring up their opinions. And I think this was achieved in a way with a kind of a change of role in how I approached my role as a project coordinator, as a kind of a transmitting and translating the project into the regional context, so to say. Of course, as Irene, you mentioned, there have also been challenges to this, and the main challenge probably is that the amount of ceramic entrepreneurs in this region is very limited, and accordingly so is the number of authorities and public bodies that advocate this matter. It was very interesting to hear earlier about this World Council of Crafts and its European sector. There would be a lot of work to do in the Nordic countries for that one. What I also think that Irene is referring to when talking about work with stakeholders, it wasn't restricted only to the official stakeholder group, but I personally approached and contacted each person that I knew that was related to the ceramic sector in this region. And they weren't official partners or members of our stakeholder group, but persons and people, entrepreneurs, artists who are active more or less in ceramics in South Ostrobothnia. And indeed, I started already quite early on in January 2019 around where I basically set a date with each of the actors, drove over with a questionnaire and went to meet them and interview them, really to learn to know them. Like, what is your work history? How did you end up to work with ceramics? How are you doing? What is your interest to develop this? What is your experience? How would you like to develop this sector? And I suppose the main outcome from this was that it stimulated the sense of creating a network, a ceramic community in the region, because I was also at the same time also the messenger, carrying the message from one actor to another actor. Have you heard about this person? And would you like to do something together? And would that be possible? And that was quite an important incentive to the next step that we took, the pop-up exhibition, which was quite a success, thanks to Corona pandemic, because I started to plan that we should create this kind of pop-up exhibition together with these ceramic actors in the region. And I started to plan that already in December 2019. And it was built so that there was first invited a meeting, a kind of a learning together, this kind of a seminar, quite a casual meeting where I just gathered together all the people that I had first met in person myself, and then I invited them together to discuss. And at that occasion, they were also invited to bring some of their works to the meeting room, basically, which I then collected and I built an exhibition with my then project assistant Camilla at a local mall in the Seinäjoki city center. There was an empty small shop room with a glass facade. So we had like a huge vitrine, a glass box for those ceramic works. And what followed, the exhibition was ready maybe on the 5th or 6th March 2020. And only like a week later, the lockdown started in Finland, which meant that museums, galleries were all shut, but the only exhibition open was the clay pop-up exhibition in Seinäjoki city center. And we got some quite nice feedback. And I also saw that people were so interested in what I was doing while I was building the exhibition there. And it was clear that there was a need for that. And ceramic artists and entrepreneurs who participated asked me before I had even started to build up the first exhibition, like, when are we going to have the next one? Which is quite telling in a way that there was really a need for that. And it's such a pity that this prolonged situation with the pandemic conditions going on has hindered us from doing that again. But I think that's in short what are my experiences with this stakeholder work.
Yes, thank you very much, Elisa. And actually, these experiences will be also taken forward in your action plan. So...
Yes, yes, and they are amplified based on two good practices from the project. And there was earlier a very good presentation about Ceramica made in Umbria, and that was very inspiring. And I really would have wanted to dig more into it and create an action that would really replicate it in more detail. But in the current circumstances, we have to be quite we are quite limited with the options how we are going to apply that. But this interest into cherishing the traditions and to develop that with the assistance from modern technologies and digitalization is something that we are trying to take to a next step also in our action plan.
Yeah, so good luck with the work.
Thank you.
Coming up, and thanks a lot for sharing your experience. In the clay project, we have had quite different situations, as Emanuela said, in terms of size of companies, number of companies, or rather individual artists. So your experience was extremely interesting. So thanks for sharing it. So we have been talking about stakeholders. We have been talking about how clay has been working. We could now talk about the results, initial results that clay has already managed to achieve in partner regions. So although all 5 regions have already designed their action plans, and they are going to implement, or in some cases they have already started implementation, we could already achieve some policy improvements in our regions. We have the successful example of the Regional Development Agency of Southwest Oltenia, that has recently achieved a policy improvement. They have managed, thanks to clay experience, they have managed to improve one local funding scheme to widen the kind of support that is provided to ceramic companies, to ceramic SMEs. So I would like to ask to Mihaela Lupancescu, the project manager from Regional Development Agency of Southwest Oltenia, to tell us a bit about this policy improvement and also how the clay project has helped you to achieve this.
Hello, thank you, Irene. Thank you, Emanuela, for our good collaboration. First of all, I would like also to send the greetings from Southwest Oltenia Regional Development Agency team. The Southwest Oltenia Regional Development Agency, the organization that represents Romania within the project, was actively involved in the implementation of this project, being directly stimulated by the fact that Oltenia is the most important region at the national level in terms of number of active pottery centers. So for us, the activity of the clay project have generated a qualitatively superior approach to conservation and to development of the ceramic sector, by including in the list of priorities some additional elements to the traditional one. A door is open to increase the competitiveness of ceramic production using innovative methods specific to the sector. So regarding the policy improvement achieved by us is related to the Human Capital Operational Program 2014-2020. So our institution is managing under this program the founding scheme, which names Establishment of Social Enterprises in the Southwest Oltenia region. The general objective of the founding scheme is to develop entrepreneurial competencies in the field of social economy by informing, training, advising, and supporting self-employment among the person who intend to set social enterprises in the urban or rural area of Southwest Oltenia region. Applicants for new social enterprises, at least 21 social enterprises, receive funding to develop a business plan, and they receive the above described support services. As a beneficiary of this project, we carry out many activities such as evaluation, contracting, monitoring of the business plans. At our proposal, the project documents were improved, being included in the evaluation grid an additional score of the artistic ceramic field. So the Southwest Oltenia has influenced the policy instrument initially through a change in the strategic focus. The ceramic sector was inserted as a priority sector in the founding scheme that the Southwest Oltenia Regional Development Agency managed within the Human Capital Operational Program for the social enterprises. In the future, this change is expected to lead to a second typology, like founding of new projects through this scheme. The financing scheme was developed for the first time. We are the administrator of the scheme. So as the administrator, we wrote the methodology to select the proposals, the business plans. This benefit from the outcomes for the clay work. Because with the conclusion in the evaluation grid of an additional score for the artistic ceramic field, the project documents were improved and an additional score was included for various NIES code from the sector. The methodology of selection of business plan, which was published in July 2020, contains the list of fields of activity eligible for financing with the additional punctuation for those considered priority, depending on the existing programming documents at regional level. In this sense, the NIES codes regarding the handicraft activity of processing ceramic objective are also taken into account. So the qualitative evaluation grid that includes the way of dividing the business plan, one of the important selection criteria is the field of activities for ceramic objective being considered priority and scored with a maximum of 15 points. through clay regional stakeholders, local and regional public authorities, non-governmental organizations become aware of the needs in the ceramic sector and also understood the need to support the sector. The regional analysis carried out within the project, in which the regional stakeholders were also involved, highlighted the need to find concrete measures to support the sector. Pottery recognize and appreciate both nationally and internationally as an economic and cultural treasure, is at a stage in which it fails to adapt artifactory to current economic realities. This is due to stagnation in tradition and ancestral unique competition with customers and disposal products. Activities carried out within our project focus on the progress of the craft and on those who want to work in the field of ceramic. The common direction addressed by regional stakeholders involved in the project refers to the importance of association, specialization, cooperation to the potters in order to develop this economic activity. This is essential for the vitalization of ceramic sector at the regional level. Also, the lessons learned through the clay project were very helpful for us because it was one the good practice from Italy, ceramic made in Umbria. Support innovating among ceramic companies, building and the strong regional ceramic heritage, boosting process and product innovation, and triggering a change in the mindset of ceramics. This good practice particularly encouraged cooperation between SMEs, a concept that is central to the founding scheme and to work to promote ceramics. Further input came also from the Finnish good practice regarding ceramic education at the Adult Education Center. The applicants for the founding scheme have the opportunity to participate first in a series of trainings related to the development of businesses plans. From this perspective, the concept of self-development is rich. The process to achieve this policy change began when local decision makers discussed and understood the problems and needs faced by representatives of ceramic enterprises. This discussion include a large number of stakeholders. So during our regional stakeholder group meetings, the stakeholders expressed a special interest on measures to revitalize the ceramic sector in the region and the proposal to improve policies on funds allocated to the ceramic sector. This all was the result of discussion on clay outcomes at local interregional level, such as SWOT analysis of the ceramic sector, the analysis of innovation needs and solutions for the local ceramic sector, the assessment of good practice from other partners, and evaluation of the possible policy instruments to be targeting in the clay action plan to address the local needs of ceramic actors. Our involved stakeholders had the opportunity to work in a team, to exchange knowledge and skills, and to develop new collaboration. As such, they have strengthened their own businesses. As a result, Southwest Oltenia Regional Development Agency, manager of the above-mentioned financing scheme under the Human Capital Human, built on clay results when developing the business plan selection methodology by adding new selection criteria to evaluate application by awarding special score to social enterprises for the field of ceramics. So in July 2020, the methodology to select the business plan was completed and realized, and the call for project was launched subsequently. We consider that the clay project is a vector for maintaining and developing, promoting and sustaining the craft of pottery, and also contribute to the evaluation of other horizontal sector of local development. Thank you. This is our experience, and this is our results that we achieved.
Thank you very much, Michaela, for sharing this with us. It's very interesting also because your region initially had a different policy, also a different policy instrument as reference policy instrument to be improved in clay. And you managed to work even more because you achieved an improvement on the human capital program, which was not initially foreseen. So that's a very good example of how clay and of how the project work that you did with your stakeholders helped you identifying also other opportunities to create real impacts for your local ceramic companies. So this is a very, very good achievement.
Thank you. Yes, because we are the intermediate body for regional operational program. But from the CRAY project, we have this idea to improve also this project that we manage it and to help our entrepreneurs from ceramic fields to develop and to gain competitiveness.
Yes, so that was a brilliant thing. So because for now the change was on the evaluation grid. So in the future we look forward to see how it continues. As you said, it could bring also improvements to in terms of new projects and so on.
Yeah.
So we really look forward to this, and especially we have had a very interesting virtual event in Southwest Oltenia, because the physical meeting there was planned for September 2020, but it was unfortunately impossible to do it. So we look forward to an in-person meeting maybe next year. So yeah, we can see how these improvements are actually taking place in Southwest Oltenia.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing your experience, and our greetings go to the rest of your team that was also involved, and to your stakeholders too, because they also took part in all the in-person meetings of CLAY. So that was also a very good point. So thanks.
Thank you.
Again, also listening to the experience from Southwest Oltenia, we see that the role of stakeholders is essential. We see how all of the clay regions are really looking at how to support their companies, how to involve different actors in improving the local policy context in order to enhance the competitiveness of local ceramic SMEs. As it was highlighted in the previous presentations from this morning, CLAY has been working, not struggling at all, working to match tradition, which is so strong in all the regions, with innovation, which is an asset that has to be taken advantage of to improve competitiveness of local ceramic companies. So we are now going to see how this work will be taken forward in Central region in Portugal in the next 2 years. So a lot of interesting development are going to take place in our regions in the next 2 years, thanks to the action plans. So I would now invite Regina Santos from the Technological Center for Ceramic and Glass of Central Region to tell us a bit more about how CLAY is going to deploy effects in Central Region through the actions of the action plan. Welcome, Regina.
Thank you, Aileen. Hello all. I'm going to start to make a brief eye to our region, because Central region has a strong culture, a ceramic culture. We have a lot of ceramic enterprise with all the dimensions. We have large enterprise, medium enterprise, small, and also artists and artisans, micro enterprises. And these ceramics enterprises are sometimes related with territorial cultures, and they have different developments in some territorial places, and with connected with the culture and with the tourism. So and relating this with founding instruments and with the needs of these enterprises, in the first phase of the CLAY, we have reached some kind of stakeholders, ceramic stakeholders of this kind of enterprise and other organizations, to see more concretely what were the needs of our industrial and creative enterprises. Really, we have some kinds of tools to founding large, more small and medium enterprises, and some ceramic enterprises have reached this founding and they improve their ways of doing and their process and their creative products to be more and also marketing process to be more strong and more competitive. But the little ones, the micro and the artists and artisan of ceramics have many needs to go to the market and to put their products and to develop their process to reach more and to be more competitive. So we have see our founding schemes, and we have also very good practice in this part. We have even point two schemes that were used, and they were successful to improve the competitiveness of our enterprise. But these schemes, these programs enable to support the little ones, the creative, the artisans. So with this in mind, we have this develop and talk with our management authorities about some changes that could be improved in these schemes, these founding schemes, to open them to this profile of enterprise, the little ones, the artisan and creative ones. And by this methodology, we reach to define two actions that can be isolated or can be achieved by the enterprise together to reach these little ones that need to be supported to improve and to innovate their products and their process. These schemes are going to be improved in future, because now we are in the transition, in the founding scheme transitions, but we are now talking with our management authority that in Central Region is CCDRC, and they were very involved in this idea, and they supported our idea and gave us another that can be improved and can be used by this enterprise. So the first one is quite simple. It's connected with the reinforcement of skills, and this use the voucher scheme that we have here in the to support little projects, little innovation projects, in order that the individual artists could reach this funding to help in development their activities, and to introduce more innovative process, or other process that they are not able to reach now. The other scheme is to use another program. It's a program connected with improvement of entrepreneurial and employment programs. And this program can support the investment in means like equipments and other softwares and hardwares that can be used, namely to introduce 3D process in the process, 3D digital development, and other innovation process that can improve the competitiveness of our enterprise, our little one, without change the cultural history of our ceramic. Okay, so this we are already working these ideas with CCDRC. This can complete each other, even if they are from different programs, and now they are going to work in order to put this in the plan of programs to found. And also another thing very important, that ceramic enterprises can be inserted specifically as enterprise that could be eligible in these programs. Okay, and other things can come from here, because even we can improve the competitiveness of the enterprise, promoting joining cooperative projects with associations that can support collective activities to improve also the competitiveness of enterprise. So this is our work. We are working with CCDR and also with enterprise, because one of the important things is to give knowledge to enterprise and to artisans of these kind of schemes, because normally they don't assess, because they don't know if they can assess and how can assess and what kind of support they can have. They are little ones, they have a core business that is centered in the ceramics production, and sometimes they need other kinds of supports, and in this case we can go to the associations to help them and to make them grow. Okay, this is our work. We are working, and we are continuing working in the next years, and we hope that it will be useful, very useful for our enterprise, our little artisan in ceramic.
Thank you very much, Regina, for sharing this, and also for making a very good point that emerged a lot of times during the ceramic is a very, very special sector.
Yes.
It's as such, it has very special needs, and ceramic SMEs, they are really, really special in their way. So working towards addressing their specific needs is extremely important, because maybe tools already exist, the support tools for SMEs exist, but making them suitable for ceramic SMEs is crucial to ensure that their competitiveness can really be supported. So yes, the work that you have been doing in your region was really looking this, and that's very, very important. So we look forward to see what will happen in the next 2 years.
Okay,
And to see how your little companies will benefit from these improved schemes. And actually, we could catch a glimpse of what you are doing when we had our last, unfortunately, physical meeting in Portugal. It was early 2020. End of February, so it was really, really borderline. However, we could travel. And we saw the kind of high-tech services that you do in your organization, and the kind of things that companies can have access to. So it's extremely interesting, as we saw at the roundtable before, how organizations like yours or universities can provide dedicated support to the company. So thanks a lot for sharing your experience with us. And still looking at how it is necessary to provide support to the very special ceramic companies, I would like now to look at the experience from Nouvelle-Aquitaine with Alexandra Baudrouet, who is here with us today. Also, in the case of Nouvelle-Aquitaine, the discussion with local stakeholders highlighted that there was a need to make the public funding opportunities more visible, more easier to be accessed by local companies. Nouvelle-Aquitaine region has a very high level of innovation in general, but what happens when it comes to ceramic SMEs? How can they make use of available funding opportunities to improve? In the action plan of Nouvelle-Aquitaine is ready, as those of the other clay partners, and actually they have already started some implementation activities with the call for expression of interest for local companies that has recently been launched. Alexandra, would you like to tell us more about how this call addresses the specific needs of your local ceramic SMEs?
Yes, so good morning, everybody. And before beginning, I would like to thank all clay partners for good experience sharing and for their good practice also. Thanks again to everyone. So maybe before to tell you how our action will answer to the needs of our stakeholders, I just want to briefly introduce our action. The purpose of the call of interest, which is innovation design and know-how of excellence answer to new trends, is to initiate and support through a design approach projects leading to new products or servicing using know-how of excellence. Because in Region Nouvelle-Aquitaine, design is a powerful tool to create value for companies thanks to new attractive products offerings, which stands apart from the competition, because international competition is very high and difficult, and even for our porcelain here in Limoges. Integrating design in the art of the companies with know-how of excellence enhance the connection and the development of collaborations between designers and SMEs. So that is all for how it's answer to the needs. So thanks.
Sorry, we have some issue technical. The sound, the voice is very, very.
Could not answer me.
Yes, I think
the voices don't arrive very well. So
same here.
Yes.
Yes.
It's possible to change something. For, maybe
no,
microphone.
No. I tried to, yes, Bluetooth, yes. Sorry, is it better now?
Perfect now.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry. So should I begin again, or it's okay? I can continue, or?
Yeah, it's fine for us. What about the translation? Was it okay? Yeah.
Move on.
Okay. So Alexandra, if you can start again, that would be great. Thanks.
Yes, sorry for this technical issue. So first, the purpose of our call of interest, innovation, design, and know-how of excellence answer to new trends, is to initiate and support through a design approach projects leading to new products or services using know-how of excellence in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. In Nouvelle-Aquitaine, we think really that design is a powerful tool to create value for companies thanks to new attractive products offerings, which stand apart from the international competition. Integrating design at the heart of companies with know-how of excellence enhances the connections and the development of collaboration between designers and SMEs. So how does it address the needs of local ceramics SMEs here in our regions? So thanks to different local stakeholder meetings and thanks to SWOT analysis and also to polls that we made during CLAY project phase 1, we thought that economic and financial aids are the main measures to boost innovation here in our regions. Unfortunately, a majority of them, of our stakeholders, express the fact that access information concerning available business support or tools or initiatives are very, very complicated. Because first, SMEs, it's small company, so you have a very small number of employees inside, and unfortunately, they have a limited time available to find and to identify relevant information on public funding schemes. And also, they said that the administrative procedures are very, very complex. You have to fill lot of pages, and you have to define what you want to do, and it's very, very, very complicated, and it takes lot of time. So our stakeholders ask for a simplified path to access to available funding schemes. They want one place, one organization, one website, one contact. They would like a single window approach at the region Nouvelle-Aquitaine. That is, we speak with region, and we decided to launch the call of expression of interest. This call is very easy, because you have only 9 pages to apply. So it's a very short application form. This call, for this CI, you will have 4 several calls, and the answer time is very short. So when your project is selected, you will have the result only 1 month after the selection. So it's very short. And the region wants that all selected projects will be orientated towards the dedicated financial support. So you apply and you go through the right support directly, no problem. No, you don't have to think what people I have to contact or so on. And at the end, the selected project must improve the competitiveness of SMEs. This project must be innovated and also contribute to the Made in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. And also, they have to maintain or transfer qualified know-how of our excellence here in Nouvelle-Aquitaine.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. It's a very good example of what we were saying before. So ceramic companies have specific needs, so it's crucial to address them in a precise way. And in the call for expression of interest, which is being launched at a very special time because COVID recovery is starting, are there any ways that this tool can be useful for the post-COVID period to help ceramic companies in the post-COVID period?
Yes, there is a dedicated line in this call of interest. So special attention will be given to projects concerning new product development to meet the need arising from the health situation, saving a company in economic difficulty due to the crisis. So it could be another aid, a financial aid for local companies during this sanitary issue.
Yeah, which is a very important thing now. So your call has been launched very recently, if I'm not
yes,
wrong.
in April, in February, and the first call end in April, and the second one will be launched in September.
Okay, so the April one is now being evaluated, I suppose. So there should soon be update from your side. So we really look forward to hearing them, because it can be a very good approach to be replicated also in other regions, because all companies always highlighted that maybe they were not even aware that they could access this kind of support. So that's a great thing. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. And again, we look forward to see in the next 2 years what it will happen.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks a lot, Alexandra, and thanks to all our partners who have spoken till now, because I hope they could give you a better idea of what CLEI has been doing, how partners have been working, and what they will continue to do. Actually, CLEI has been a very interesting project since the beginning. We remember after the kickoff meeting in Umbria, there was a boom of news on local newspaper and everywhere. And our partner in charge of communication in CLEI, the European Association of Ceramic Cities, has been managing communication, has been monitoring how our project has been disseminated outside the consortium. So we have here today Giuseppe Olmeti and Elisa Emiliani from the European Association of Ceramic Cities. So I would like to invite you to sit here with us. Hello, Giuseppe. Good morning, and welcome, and thanks. Hello, Elisa, too. We would like you. I would like you to conclude this very interesting roundtable with CLEI partners. If you would like to share, as a communication manager, how our project has been received outside, what have been the ideas and so on. And floor is completely yours to tell us a bit more about it. Giuseppe, you are muted.
Okay, now maybe I'm not muted. Can you hear me? Great. Yeah. Well, thank you for the question. But please let me before express our satisfaction with the results of the project, and express our compliments and our thanks to the lead partner, to all the partners and the advisor Resolvo and Irene that follow us absolutely very well, and to all the stakeholders. And everybody, I think, was a great effort that contributed to the success of the project. The CLEI project was born initially as a suggestion of our grouping of the European Association of Cities of Ceramics, and was presented and accepted with great pleasure by Umbria region, that we can say really developed and increased it with all their competencies and their skills. So I think that we can be everybody very proud of this. And well, I hope that we could communicate and transmit the information. I think that we gained the good results, both because we can say that we overcome the number of information, the target that was defined by the project. So we are very happy of this, but even because in the report, in the semester reports, the lead partner and even the agency gave us compliments about these results. I think that the communication anyway was, well, difficult because usually is not very easy work, but for some reasons it was even more easy. Let me say that I think there are 4 characteristics that gave us the opportunity to have this good result. One is the complexity of the project, because in communication, much information you have to give is difficult to summarize, but a lot of activities, a lot of events, a lot of information that was produced by the project, by sure, helped us in give a wide range of information. And all our partners explained this very well with the really quantity and quality of information. So our work was to collect and having a good plan of giving back outside this information. Even on the other side, the quantity of target groups that our sector could have implemented or considered are so many, because there are the cities, there are schools, there are museums, there are associations, there are single ceramists. And so the really quantity, huge quantity of people to address this information, and so a wide target. So the complexity, I think, helped us enough. A second reason is the good organization of the Interreg Europe system, let me say, because we are communication partners in other projects, European projects, Erasmus, and so on. But I think that this organization that Interreg Europe is giving to the system of communication helped us so much. I don't know if you can see, I have here in the back our poster, and we know that the unique logo, the unique website already defined by the agency, and the cross communication, the cross experience with other projects, and as well the work of the learning platform that we know that is a supporting advisor group of the Interreg Europe. Well, all these elements helped us really a lot, because gave us the work more easy, and gave us the opportunity to be more focused on the information and not on the structure. Another topic that I think helped quite a lot is that, well, we as European grouping of cities of ceramics, we are not a national company, we are a European company. Our members are from many countries. In origin, they was from 4 countries since 2014, so from Italy, France, Spain, and Romania. And this is a great opportunity to involve many countries and many subjects. And in these last 2 years, the years of the project, more countries joined us: Germany, Portugal, Czech Republic. So our grouping is composed by 7 members. And other countries are joining us in this moment, like Poland and Switzerland, Turkey, Croatia. And so it was quite easy for us to involve many countries, so spread our information, the information of the project, to many countries, and obviously to the cities that belongs to this association, and all the schools, the museums, and so on. A fourth topic, a fourth reason that helped us, I think, could be the reputation and the professionality that we partners, starting from the lead partner, Regione Umbria, from our work that is well known and appreciated in Europe. So, well, it depends if the communication is sent by someone who is not known, maybe it could find opportunity to be published. But when the signature is from Regione Umbria, from Limoges, Coimbra, Oltenia, and all the partners, and Finland, and from us, I think that we could have a better opportunity. In fact, some important magazines, let me quote La Ceramica Antica e Moderna in Italy and the New Ceramics, I think two of the most important magazines in Europe, absolutely gave us the opportunity to publish big articles of 2 or 3 pages with a lot of details about our project. So I kindly asked to Elise Emiliani, that is our specialist in European projects and communication, to give a better detail of the communication results. But first of all, I really want to thank her really a lot for the great work she did. Elisa, thank you.
Thank you, Beppe. So I will just add a few technical details. First, our main target groups, because as a communication partner in this project, we wanted surely to inform the general public about the actions, but also it was our precise goal to tackle specific target groups. For instance, ceramists for sure, and ceramic cities, including museums, specialized schools. We reached also specialized press, and so the general public, yes, but specifically people with a strong interest in artistic ceramics. We based our communication actions mainly in 3 parts, let's say. So we have the official website, as Giuseppe said, it is very well structured. And I have to say that thanks to the contributions of all the partners of this flow of information, we managed to publish a lot of news on the website, and these news were then reposted on our social media. Only in the first year of the project, we had almost 150 social media posts, and that is thanks to all the partners. We had more than 1,500 views on our website just in the first year. And the third communication action regards the media appearances. And just in the first year of the project, we scored 47. Yeah, so starting from the kickoff meeting that, like Irene, you said before, it was really sparkling, you know, and very full of events. Thanks to that, we had large number of news on the local media, but also since the very beginning of the project, we reached this specialized press, and this is how we tried, you know, to raise interest for this project in specific target groups. And so we started with contemporary Italian ceramics, La Ceramica Moderna e Antica, like Beppe said. And in the second year of the project, we actually reached New Ceramics, which is an international, very well known, important ceramic newspaper. That's it. Then year 2 of our project started to be impacted by the pandemic, as you know. So our news switched more on the online side. And during the 3rd year, however, we kept disseminating the project results. And we kept, of course, spreading our press releases and updating the website. During year 3, that is the year of the pandemic, our CLAY website had more than 800 viewers. It means like 800 people looked for information on our website. And among Facebook and Instagram account, we have right now almost 2,000 followers, and they keep growing. And that is why, that is how we are trying to reach, specific and wide public with these project actions. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elisa, for the insights, because we knew already that CLAY was amazing in achieving communication indicators, but hearing to the numbers, it really makes a big effect. And thanks for your work, and thanks to Giuseppe for providing an overview of how CLAY was born and how it continued to reach out to external audience. So thank you very much, and thanks to our speakers. I believe that from what you just said, there are 2 words that emerged very precisely, besides ceramics, of course, and it's networking and cooperation. We have been talking about networking, about ceramic companies, ceramic artists, ceramic actors. Cooperation among them and networking among them was a key theme in our discussion during these 3 years of CLAY. However, collaboration and cooperation among partners was also crucial. In the final words of Giuseppe, I think this clearly came out. It was cooperation on all sides, cooperation to learn about ceramic, to learn about their experience, cooperation to disseminate what we have been doing, what we have been discussing. So I think our lead partner and our partners can be extremely proud of they have been working in this inter-regional cooperation project. And to conclude, I would like to link up to what was said in one of the presentation of today opening session. So ceramic moves, and I think it's extremely interesting for us. The ceramic moves, and so does CLAY. We are moving on. Our work is not finished, so we look forward to move on and to what comes in the next 2 years. So I would pass the floor and thank again the speakers, all of you, and the audience. And I hope this was interesting for you. And I would pass the floor to Emanuela for questions and the rest of
Ah, mais c'est fini, je pense.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you so much, and a special thank to our partner to have very hard work in these past 3 years, and a special thanks to you, Irene, for your support. And so now the question time is open discussion. If you want to can write a chat. Put your hand, and so if we have not a question, we can finish. Just a few minutes. It's late. And so, yeah, okay. We can stop. We can say goodbye, everybody. very welcome to all participants for a very interesting meeting. And you see in the past, in the future, Irene, I don't remember which is the next meeting is in.
It should be in Romania.
In Romania
next year, we hope. We will meet up, but I'm keeping our fingers crossed, but we say yeah, definitely yes. And then we will have Brussels, and then we will have Finland, and then maybe we would have Umbria again. So we have quite a lot of occasions to meet, to catch up for the last year.
Okay. So nothing, no question. We are sorry. Okay. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.